Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sammy Ketchum, and welcome back to Sammy Ketchum TCG. Today, we are going to be taking a look at a Miraidon EX deck profile. Alright? This deck profile will have some of the new cards from Paldea Evolved in it. And we're going to talk about how some of those cards change the way that this deck will be played moving forward and how it would help its matchups. Alright? So without further ado, we're going to get right into it. Alright guys, we are back. There we go. And we're going to get right into this deck profile. We have ourselves 3 copies of Miraidon EX. Alright. This card has the 10 unit ability, you know, which is the best part about this card. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for a lightning type Pokemon, well, 2 lightning type Pokemon, and put them onto your bench, you know, or up to, and then shuffle your deck afterwards. This ability is absolutely broken. Absolutely broken. It's an instant battle VIP pass for electric or lightning type Pokemon, which is very good. Gets you right into the game, gets out your Pokemon that you need, you know, and you don't have to worry about playing a trainer or supporter or anything. His attack isn't shabby as well. 2 lightning in the colors, Photon Blaster for 220. Alright. And then the next turn you can't use it. But we got ways to get around that, right? Alright. So we've all seen Miraidon. We've all know what he can do. Two copies of Raikou V. Very good. His Lightning Rondo attack is very fast. And his Fleet-Footed ability is very good as well in here. Really standard to Miraidon decks. Two copies of Raikou V. He's also standard to the Miraidon deck now. His Dynamic Spark attack is really great. It's basically just yeah, it's really, I cannot talk. They have the new Pal EX with the same attack as a Dynamic Spark, except it's water instead of electric energy. But this is very, very good in electric decks. Can help you hit over anything once you get the electric energies into play. 60 times the amount you discard from this Pokemon. Same thing is on Pal. One copy of Drapion V. We all know why he's in here. He makes our new VMAX matchup a lot better. We're not fooling around with Spiritomb. We're just gonna knock him straight out. Alright, one copy of Squawkabilly EX. This is one of the newer cards from Paldea Evolved. Alright, it has the Squawk and Seize ability. Once during your turn, during your first turn, you may discard your entire hand and draw 6 cards. This is actually really good, especially for this deck, since this deck wants to be turbo. Alright. We're not going to worry about the attack because you're really never going to use it. But for this deck being fast, getting off the ground during the first turn or second turn, or really going second. We get off the ground and rolling, get our generators, get powered up, and we go balls to the walls. 3 copies of Flaffy Flaffy with the Dynamotor ability gets our electric energies back from the discard pile. You know, and we can attach them to our Pokemon. You know, so this is very, very good. This helps Raichu scale in the damage. Very, very good for all your electric Pokemon. Got the Mareep to follow. One copy of Radiant Greninja. Alright. Its Conceal Cards ability will allow you to draw more cards during your turn. It's always great and useful. One copy of Miraidon from Scarlet and Violet. This is a new tech that I'm trying out in here. I actually think it's really good. Sharp Fang for 30 and Lightning Laser for 90. This attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Alright, now I may not look like very much right away, but this is a one prizer, and we're going to need a one prizer to kind of like help you out with the prize trade, especially against like Gardevoir and Lost Box. Against Lost Box, you can sit there in the active, knock out like a Comfy or something, and then set up damage on the bench on something else for later on. Against Gardevoir, you if you get him out early, if you want to, you know, knock out maybe like a Curlia or a Ralts and set up damage somewhere else, you know, maybe like on a future Gardevoir EX or something like that, making them easier to be knocked out later on. So, you know, don't overlook this. This is actually really decent, especially as a one prizer. Three copies of Arven. Alright, Arven is very, very good in this deck. It's probably the best supporter in this deck. Alright, search your deck for an item card and a Pokemon tool card and add them to your hand. And shuffle your deck afterwards. This will allow you to get electric generators, will allow you to get EXP share, will allow you to get any other tools that you want to put in your deck, like the Charm of Courage or whatever that they call that thing. You can also get Forest Seal Stone with this. And Forest Seal Stone, when you activate that, you get any card in your deck. So you can also get Ultra Ball. You can also get Nest Ball with this. So yeah, this is actually a very, very good card in this deck that can help you in the early game as well as the late game as well. Three copies of Boss's Orders. Alright, this is the new Boss's Orders from Paldea Evolved. Boss's Orders Geisis, or Getsis. Two Professors Research. Alright, gotta have some Rowan's in here. This is strictly a Violet deck. Two copies of Iono, and why not? Iono is the electric type gym leader in the games. Two copies of Iono. So, the newest card from Paldea Evolved. Alright. It's basically a Marnie and an N combined. So you shuffle your hand, and then put your hand on the bottom of the deck, and then draw cards equal to the number of prize cards you have. Well, both you and your opponent. So if you have 4 prize cards, you draw 4. If your opponent has 2 prize cards, you would draw 2. Etc. etc. Could be used in the early game or in the late game, which is very, very good. Four copies of Electric Generator. This is the bread and butter of this deck. We all know what it does by now. 3 copies of Nest Ball. 2 copies of Ultra Ball, 2 copies of Switch Card. All this stuff is standard for this deck. 2 copies of Escape Rope. 1 copy of Hisuian Heavy Ball. I added this card since we play like a lot of 1-ofs in this deck now, like Squawkabilly and Radiant Greninja, just to help you find some of that stuff in the prizes. And you also get to look at your prizes and see what your prizes are. So you don't have to, like, you know, prize map your deck in the beginning of the game. 1 copy of EXP Share. Very good for helping you keep your electric energies on the board. Helps Raichu scale and damage. 1 copy of Forest Seal Stone. Can get any card in your deck. 3 copies of, I think energy got in there. 3 copies of Beach Court. Show them right there. There we go. Alright. Helps your Pokemon to retreat with 1 less retreat cost. Your basics. I mean, almost all the Pokemon in my deck that are attacking are basics. Well, they are all basics. And they all have 1 retreat cost. So it makes the retreat cost free. And 14 lightning energies to fuel your Pokemon. Alright guys, that is the deck list. The cards a note. Honestly, the Squawkabilly is a really big change to this deck. This card really helps you get into the game early. It really, really does. I can't explain how good this card really helps this deck out. You know, you play something like Arven or Research early, and then if you still don't see what you need, you get this guy down, and then you draw 6 more cards, and then it's like you literally seeing over half your deck on your first or second turn. It is absolutely insane what you can do and what you can play with. I honestly like it. Don't get me wrong, what is it? Let me go through it. Where are you at? Iono is good too, but Iono is not as impactful as Squawkabilly in this deck. Because, I mean, we're not going to use this card that much because we're a fast turbo deck. We're going to be taking prizes first. So, we will use this card, and it will be pretty impactful, but not as impactful as a Squawkabilly. I have seen a drastic change in this deck. You know, playing IRL and online as well. Other than that, that's the deck list. Alright. If you like it, try it out. Test it out. See if it'll change anything for you. Other than that, like, comment, subscribe. And until next time, make sure you take care of yourself and each other.